So, Senator, let's turn to the question of the recovery, because we're all hoping for it. We're hoping it's going to come. At the same time, it seems a bit fragile right now. We get various news, including today we heard 31 states have a positive, that's over 1 R naught score, which means the disease is spreading. How concerned should we be? How concerned is the business community that, in fact, this coronavirus is going to have us either shut down or slow down again?
Well, if we do a shutdown again, someone needs to have their heads examined, because all along, that was only necessary in a few places where it just cascaded out of control. Shutting down early, opening up late, and a one-size-fits-all approach that many places took, that's going to make their recoveries harder. A couple things make me optimistic about how we're going to recover. Number one, we had the strongest economy that I had ever been a part of, and that was running my own enterprise for 37 years. We were in excellent shape going into it. Credit that to the job and tax cut bill of 2017, President Trump leading on it. If we go back to some of the policies and regulations that were in place before that, there'll be a tough recovery. But if we just take everything we've learned about the disease, we know a lot more about it now. It's got peculiarities, and entrepreneurs and business owners are good at multitasking. They shut down the entire downtown in my hometown. My wife's had a business, it'll be 42 years this September. They would have been the ones most capable of distancing, wearing masks. And they have, like all business owners, great concern to keep their customers and their employees healthy. Going forward, I think you'll see, and we'll have the data, that the places that didn't take that overly prescriptive approach, where they were doing two things at once, are going to have good recoveries, and I think that's going to benefit the country in its entirety. The places that locked down too long, like a Kentucky or a Michigan, where they maybe didn't need to treat Detroit and the rest of the state the same way, or Louisville and Lexington, the rest of the state of Kentucky. Indiana had a pretty good balance, and I think we're going to recover accordingly.
Senator, how much more help do we need from the Congress? It looks like you're going to have a pretty busy July, because a lot of people are talking about a couple of cliffs that may be coming up in the middle and the end of the month, particularly unemployment insurance and some other assistance to the economy. What are you in favor of Congress doing at this point, if anything, before you go on August recess?
Yeah, I think Leader McConnell's got that right. We need to see how 1, 2, 3, and 3.5 have been working. We're not using all of the PPP due to the fact that it's now got some guidance on it that is keeping it from going to larger small businesses and trying to get to the places that need it the most. And if this recovery does what I think it's going to do, and I think President Trump has set the stage for that, and certain governors that were a little more, willing to take some risk, maybe we won't need it. And that doesn't mention the fact that we've spent $2.8 trillion and we're running trillion-dollar structural deficits. So I think we got to be very careful about what we do going forward. And I think that rather than maybe adding flexibility, finding what we might have missed on the first go-around, I'm hoping that it doesn't take anything significant out of D.C. We've borrowed every penny that we put towards it. I was okay with it back then because of the uncertainty. Now let's emphasize on smartly reopening the economy, and hopefully that'll do the heavy lifting.